You believe success begins with luck, or perhaps you think it starts with money, connections, or even circumstance. Many will tell you that education or opportunity determines your outcome, but the truth is far more powerful and far more personal. Success begins in the mind. It is born in thought, nurtured by belief, and made invincible through the cultivation of a positive mental attitude. Not just any attitude, but one that refuses to quit, one that persists beyond discouragement, one that turns obstacles into stepping stones. This is the force identified as the very foundation of greatness, the mental habit of persistence rooted in optimism. Life, as you know, is a relentless examiner. It does not test you once and then release you. It tests you every day through disappointments, betrayals, failures, and sudden setbacks. Each blow is an invitation to quit, to doubt, to abandon your purpose. But the individual who has trained his mind to maintain a positive attitude regardless of circumstance possesses a shield that no difficulty can pierce. This is not blind cheerfulness. It is a conscious mastery of thought, a refusal to surrender inner control to external events. If you master this one discipline, you hold the master key to every door of opportunity. Consider the law of dominant thoughts. Whatever occupies the majority of your mind takes shape in your life. Think defeat and defeat will find you. Think doubt and doubt will erode your confidence. Think poverty and poverty will shadow your steps. But think victory and conditions begin to conspire in your favor. Think abundance and opportunities multiply. Think courage and your very body fills with the energy to act boldly. Your thoughts are not passive. They are magnets broadcasting frequencies that shape your reality. The subconscious mind does not discriminate between truth and falsehood, good or bad, helpful or harmful. It simply records what you repeat and manifests it outwardly. Therefore, if you want an attitude that never quits, you must first master the currents of your own thought life. Train yourself to dwell on victory, to see possibility where others see limitation, to believe in outcomes that have not yet materialized. For the mind is a garden, and unless you plant seeds of success daily, weeds of failure will grow by default. Quitting is the greatest enemy of success. Most people fail not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they quit too soon. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed over 10,000 times before the invention of the light bulb. Think of Henry Ford, mocked for attempting to create an 8-cylinder engine when experts said it was impossible. Each of these men faced enough rejection to crush an ordinary spirit. Yet, what separated them from the masses was not brilliance nor luck, but a mental attitude of persistence, an absolute refusal to surrender. Every rejection became fuel. Every failure became a lesson. Every obstacle became a test of worthiness. And through persistence, they built empires. The question you must ask yourself is this: how many rejections does it take before you abandon your dream? How many failures before you lower your sights? How many obstacles before you convince yourself you were never meant to succeed? Every time you quit, you send a signal to your subconscious mind that surrender is acceptable. You program yourself for mediocrity. You weaken the spiritual muscle of persistence. But every time you push forward despite resistance, you program yourself for triumph. You strengthen your identity as someone who refuses to be conquered. And identity is destiny. If you wish to build a positive attitude that never quits, you must identify and conquer its enemies. Fear is the first and greatest enemy. Fear of criticism, fear of poverty, fear of rejection, fear of failure. Fear robs initiative and paralyzes potential. Doubt follows closely behind. Doubt whispers in your ear asking, "What if I fail?" and drains the energy of conviction. Then come excuses, the subtle poison that convinces you that circumstances or other people determine your destiny, allowing you to shift responsibility away from yourself. Negativity spreads like infection, complaining, gossiping, focusing on problems instead of solutions, and finally quitting, the silent assassin of ambition. If you allow any of these enemies to dominate, your attitude collapses and your purpose dies a slow death. Persistence is the backbone of greatness. A positive mental attitude without persistence is like a candle in the wind, shining for a moment, extinguished at the first storm. But a positive attitude fused with persistence is like a roaring fire, resilient, unshakable, growing stronger in the very face of wind. Persistence is not stubbornness. It is spiritual stamina. It is getting up after every fall. It is continuing to work when tired. It is believing when no evidence justifies belief. It is knocking on doors until they break, not because you are desperate, but because you are determined. And here is the secret: persistence itself generates power. Every time you persist, you expand your capacity. Every time you refuse to quit, you harden your spirit. Every time you endure, you declare to the universe, I am worthy. And eventually the universe yields. But persistence alone is not enough. It must be married to faith. A positive mental attitude is not naive optimism. It is faith that you were not born to be defeated. Faith that circumstances do not define you. Faith that tomorrow will yield fruit if you plant today's seed. Faith is the fuel, action is the engine. Faith without action is daydreaming, and action without faith is drudgery. But faith combined with consistent action produces miracles. Understand that no one wakes up with a permanent unbreakable attitude. It is forged through daily practice. It is built as a muscle through repetition and discipline. Begin your mornings with affirmations. Speak to yourself with power. I am capable. I am resilient. I am destined for greatness. Write daily gratitudes, for gratitude multiplies abundance and fixes the mind on what is working, not what is lacking. Visualize your goals as already achieved, for the mind must become familiar with victory before the body can create it. Guard your input, for the mind becomes what it consumes. Eliminate gossip, idle chatter, and destructive media, replacing them with wisdom and growth. Act daily toward your purpose, even in small steps, for daily compounding builds unstoppable momentum. Focus on the power of definiteness of purpose. Without it, your mind wanders, and a wandering mind is the playground of negativity. A definite purpose channels energy, ignites faith, and transforms pain into meaning. When you know exactly what you want and refuse to stop until it is achieved, setbacks lose their sting. Criticism becomes irrelevant. Failures become feedback. Purpose gives you a reason to fight, a reason to persist, a reason to rise. Without purpose, persistence fades. With purpose, persistence becomes inevitable. Yet even with purpose, your environment matters. Environment is amplifier. If you surround yourself with complainers, you will complain. If you live among the lazy, you will struggle to act. If you fill your ears with doubt, your mind will echo doubt. You must therefore become the guardian of your environment. Surround yourself with encouragers, with dreamers, with those who stretch you higher. Fill your home with reminders of your future, not your past. Protect your mornings from distraction. Reclaim your evenings from chaos. What you allow around you will either fertilize your growth or poison your roots. Guard your circle, for your circle is your mirror. And remember this final truth: a positive mental attitude that never quits is not an occasional state. It is not what you display on your best day. It is your average, your baseline, your default. It is how you think when no one is watching, how you act when no one is applauding, how you endure when no one is helping. It is forged in private before it is displayed in public. If you want to build it, you must practice daily emotional hygiene, cleaning out doubt, reframing fear, rejecting excuses, affirming belief, and acting with courage. The wealth of life does not belong to the most educated, nor the most talented, nor the most connected. It belongs to the one who refuses to quit, and refusal is not an act of desperation. It is an act of faith, an act of identity, an act of decision. Decide today that you will not surrender, no matter the obstacle, no matter the delay, no matter the rejection. Decide that your mental attitude will remain positive in the darkest night and strongest storm. Decide that persistence will be your companion, faith your guide, and purpose your compass. For when you decide, the universe begins to move in your favor. Opportunities appear, allies emerge, strength multiplies, and you will discover so clearly that the greatest secret of success is not external but internal. It is not what happens to you, but what happens within you. Build a positive mental attitude that never quits, and you will not merely survive life, you will conquer it. Because success, my friend, is not a single event, it's a way of being. It's how you show up when everything inside you screams to stop. It's how you keep your head high when the world looks down on you. It's how you choose to speak light when surrounded by darkness. The people who rise in life are not those with the fewest failures. They are those who refuse to let failure define them. Every time life knocks them down, they get up not weaker but wiser, not bitter but better. Their positive attitude is not a mask, it's armor. They have learned that emotions follow focus, and focus is a choice. You cannot control every event, but you can control how you interpret it, how you feel about it, and how you respond to it. This is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The power to decide that nothing will rob you of your inner peace, your belief, or your purpose. When you meet people who seem unshakable, who radiate confidence even when storms rage around them, you are witnessing the result of inner discipline. They have learned to respond, not react. They have trained their minds to see lessons in loss and strength in struggle. They don't waste time blaming others, because blame only transfers power away from the self. Instead, they ask, what can I learn? How can I grow? What part of me is being shaped by this? And with that mindset, every defeat becomes a seed of greater success. The habit of persistence and positivity is not built in one day. It's built through 1,000 silent choices. Choosing patience over anger, choosing effort over excuses, choosing gratitude over complaint. Each of these small victories compounds until it becomes an unstoppable force of character. Let me tell you something powerful: the world does not owe you success. Life will not hand you miracles, but it will respond faithfully to your vibration, your persistence, and your mindset. When you keep going, even when no one notices, the universe takes note. When you speak words of belief in the face of doubt, the energy around you begins to shift. When you choose hope where others choose despair, the doors of opportunity begin to open, not because of luck, but because faith magnetizes possibility. You become a living beacon of resilience, a transmitter of power that draws the right people, ideas, and events into your orbit. Your mental attitude becomes your signature. People will trust you, follow you, and invest in you, not because of what you have, but because of what you radiate: unbreakable faith in yourself and in the purpose that drives you. There will be moments, of course, when that faith will be tested. The nights will be long, the rejections will sting, and the silence will echo like thunder in your heart. In those moments, remember this truth: every great achiever once stood where you are, unsure, unseen, and uncelebrated. The difference is they kept going. They didn't allow emotions to dictate destiny. They acted with discipline even when motivation faded. Motivation is fleeting, discipline is eternal. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark has died. That fire comes from within, from the decision that no matter how long it takes, no matter how many setbacks arrive, you will not stop until the dream becomes reality. That is the essence of a positive mental attitude that never quits. It is faith dressed in action. And understand this: you will never rise above the level of your self-image. If you believe you are weak, you will act weak. If you believe you are capable, you will find capability. If you believe success belongs to others, you will unconsciously push it away. But if you believe that success is your birthright, that greatness resides within you, you begin to act like it. The universe mirrors your self-concept. What you send out returns multiplied. That is why it is so vital to nurture your inner dialogue. Speak life, not defeat. Speak abundance, not lack. Speak victory, not fear. Your words are commands to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is the engine of your destiny. Feed it power, and it will build power. Feed it doubt, and it will build obstacles. Many people search endlessly for secrets, for shortcuts, for systems that promise easy success. But the ultimate secret is this: there is no shortcut around persistence. No one can give you endurance. It must be earned. It must be lived. It must be tested in fire. But once it's yours, it can never be taken away. You become untouchable, not because life stops testing you, but because you no longer fear the test. You welcome the challenge, knowing that with every difficulty, your roots go deeper and your reach grows wider. This is the mindset that transforms ordinary men and women into legends. So hold this truth close: no one else can do your believing for you. No one else can hold your vision when you grow tired. The world will tell you to be realistic, to lower your expectations, to play it safe. But safety has never built empires. Caution has never written history. The people who changed the world were those who refused to stop when everyone else said it was over. They were those who stood up when logic said to give up. They were those who carried faith like a torch through darkness until dawn finally broke. That same power is within you. You are not waiting on a miracle. You are the miracle. Keep your mind fixed on what you desire, not on what you fear. Keep your attitude anchored in gratitude, not disappointment. Keep your persistence fueled by purpose, not ego. Every single day, recommit to your vision. Remind yourself why you began. Speak to your spirit with conviction. Let no voice of failure or discouragement drown out the song of your destiny. For life does not reward the fastest nor the strongest. It rewards the one who endures. And when you refuse to quit, when your faith remains stronger than your fear, when your attitude burns brighter than your pain, you will look back one day and realize something profound. Every struggle was worth it. Every setback was sacred. Every hardship was shaping you for the moment you finally became everything you were meant to be. And when that moment comes, you will understand why life delayed you, why it tested you, why it seemed to strip everything away before giving you the breakthrough. you'll see that the waiting wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You were being strengthened for the weight of the blessing that was meant for you. Because blessings without strength break people. Success without endurance destroys them. You had to learn patience. You had to learn faith. You had to learn how to keep your spirit unbroken when everything outside of you was crumbling. That's what builds the attitude that never quits. It's not something you read in a book or hear in a speech. It's something you live through. Something you earn through struggle, loss, and relentless effort. The pain was never meant to stop you. It was meant to sculpt you. You will know you have reached that level when peace becomes your default reaction. When chaos arises and you no longer panic. When failure visits and you no longer doubt yourself. When criticism comes and you no longer shrink. You've built something inside that cannot be moved. That's the reward of persistence. It builds invisible strength. The kind that no one sees but everyone feels when you walk into a room. You become magnetic, not because you try to impress others, but because your energy is stable, your faith is unshakable, and your mind is clear. People who quit too soon never develop this power. They never find out how capable they truly are because they stop at discomfort. But you must keep going. You must go beyond comfort, beyond fatigue, beyond fear. For just on the other side of, I can't, lives everything you've ever wanted. Your attitude determines how far you'll go, and persistence determines how long you'll last. Together, they form the twin pillars of destiny. But understand, a positive attitude is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about finding the strength to stay optimistic while working through imperfection. It's smiling through tears, believing in progress when nothing seems to move, and trusting that even setbacks serve your purpose. This kind of mental mastery doesn't come from privilege or intelligence, it comes from training. Every day you train your mind by what you focus on. When you dwell on fear, you strengthen fear. When you dwell on faith, you strengthen faith. When you dwell on gratitude, you multiply your blessings. When you dwell on problems, you enlarge them. The mind is your most powerful ally or your most dangerous enemy, and you decide which one it will be. To build a positive attitude that never quits, discipline your inner conversation. Catch yourself when negativity starts whispering. Replace "I can't" with "I can." Replace "This is too hard" with "I was made for challenges." Replace "I'm tired of trying" with "I am closer than I've ever been." You must become your own motivator, your own encourager, your own leader. The world may doubt you, but if you never doubt yourself, victory becomes inevitable. The energy of self-belief is contagious. It moves mountains, opens doors, and attracts miracles. But it must begin within you. You are both the seed and the soil of your destiny. And yes, there will be days when it feels impossible. When the weight of your dreams feels heavier than your strength. On those days, don't look at how far you still have to go. Look at how far you've come. Remember every battle you've survived, every storm you've outlasted, every dark night you've endured. You are still here, still breathing, still fighting, and that means your purpose is not done. The very fact that you woke up today is proof that life still has plans for you. So get up again, speak faith again, take another step. Because persistence is not about never falling, it's about never staying down. The most successful people are not those who never struggled. They are the ones who refuse to let struggle stop them. They use pain as fuel. They use failure as wisdom. They use rejection as redirection. Each setback is not a barrier but a bridge to something better. You must train yourself to see through the illusion of defeat. Every time life closes a door, it's not denying you, it's guiding you. The redirection you resent today will become the reason you succeed tomorrow. But only if you keep moving forward. That is the power of an attitude that never quits. It turns every ending into a new beginning. And so, as you walk through life, remember your circumstances are temporary, but your mindset is permanent. Change your attitude, and your entire world shifts. When you walk with belief, life begins to respond differently. Opportunities that once ignored you will start to find you. People who once doubted you will come to respect you. Even your challenges will begin to serve you, because the universe always aligns with a mind that refuses to give up. The positive mental attitude is not just a philosophy, it is a weapon. Wield it daily, protect it fiercely, feed it constantly. It is the invisible force that turns struggle into strength and dreams into destiny. And if ever you find yourself tired, remember, tired does not mean defeated. Rest if you must, but never quit. Pause if you must, but never stop. Breathe, but keep believing. For there will come a day when the things that once tested your endurance will bow before your persistence. The world will look at you and see strength, but you will know the truth. That strength was not given to you. It was forged from every moment you refused to quit. Because this is where your transformation becomes visible, not when you speak of faith, but when you live it. Not when you feel strong, but when you stand tall despite feeling broken. The world respects resilience because it cannot be faked. You can pretend to be confident, you can disguise your fear, but persistence, true persistence, cannot be imitated. It is the mark of a soul that has walked through fire and refused to burn. It is the quiet strength behind every success story you admire. Every great inventor, every artist, every visionary carried within them that same unbreakable faith. I will not stop until I succeed. That faith is not arrogance, it is awareness. Awareness that the human spirit was not designed to surrender. You were born to rise. You were born to expand. You were born to become the living proof that the impossible is only the unattempted. Every time you keep going, you make a declaration to the universe. I am still here, and the universe responds. It rearranges itself around your persistence. It begins to open paths that didn't exist before, because it recognizes your conviction. Life tests everyone, but it rewards only those who keep walking when the road disappears. That's why faith and attitude matter more than timing, talent, or connections. Because life doesn't hand victories to those who wish. It gives them to those who persist through defeat. You may not see results right away, but something powerful happens in the unseen realm when you refuse to quit. Momentum builds quietly. Energy gathers around you. Doors start to tremble before they open. And when they finally do, the world will call it luck, but you will know it was faith, endurance, and your unshakable attitude that made it inevitable. You must understand, success is not an event, it's a vibration. It's a frequency of thought, emotion, and persistence that magnetizes outcomes into your life. Every time you say, I will not give up, you tune your spirit to that frequency, and the more you persist, the stronger the signal grows, until eventually, opportunity can no longer ignore you. People will call it destiny, but destiny is simply persistence in motion. The people you admire most, the ones who've created empires, written masterpieces, built legacies, they weren't just lucky, they were relentless. They carried an attitude that said, no matter what happens, I will continue. That is the spirit of champions, the language of achievers, the essence of greatness. There will come days when you feel alone on this path, days when you question if it's worth it, when you doubt if your efforts are making any difference at all. That is when you must remember, progress is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. Seeds grow in silence, mountains form slowly, rivers carve their path over time. Your growth may not be visible yet, but it is happening. Every act of courage, every step of faith, every refusal to quit, it all compounds. And one day, it erupts into breakthrough. But only for the one who keeps going. You cannot build a life of greatness with a mind of surrender. The world around you will try to program fear, limitation, and doubt into your spirit. It will tell you to play small, to be realistic, to settle for what's safe. But you must reject that programming. Replace it with your own code. Faith, vision, purpose, persistence. Rewire your thinking daily until success becomes your natural rhythm. Speak it, live it, breathe it. Because your words create your world. Every time you affirm your strength, you reprogram your subconscious mind. Every time you choose gratitude over complaint, you shift from scarcity to abundance. Every time you face fear with courage, you become more powerful than you were yesterday. That's how you evolve from merely existing to truly living. You are not here by accident. The dreams within you were planted for a reason. The obstacles you face are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to prove your strength. Life is not punishing you, it is preparing you. Every hardship, every delay, every heartbreak is shaping your character, refining your spirit, and aligning your destiny. You cannot quit in the middle of your preparation, because the very moment you're tempted to give up is often the moment just before everything changes. Hold the line. Stay faithful. Keep believing. Your persistence is not being ignored, it's being recorded. The universe keeps perfect track of endurance. And when the time is right, the reward always arrives bigger than you imagined. And when that reward comes, when the opportunity you prayed for finally meets the preparation you endured, you will realize it was never about the goal alone. It was about who you became along the way, the strength you built, the faith you developed, the peace you found within yourself. You'll understand that success is not a destination, It is a reflection of what you've built inside. The man or woman who refuses to quit, who maintains a positive attitude through every storm, becomes untouchable, not because life becomes easy, but because they become powerful. They have mastered themselves, and mastery of self is mastery of life. So from this day forward, make a sacred vow: never let your circumstances dictate your belief. Never let a bad season convince you of a bad destiny. Never let a temporary defeat destroy your permanent purpose. When your mind wants to quit, let your heart remind you why you started. When your strength fades, let your faith carry you. When the world doubts you, let your persistence answer for you. Because there is nothing more unstoppable than a soul on fire with purpose and protected by a positive mental attitude. That is the combination that has moved mountains, built nations, and written history. So keep your faith burning. Keep your vision alive. Keep walking even when the path disappears. The road may twist, the climb may be steep, but the summit belongs to those who refuse to stop climbing. You are not here to merely survive. You are here to conquer, to create, to inspire, to leave behind the proof that no matter what comes against you, a positive attitude and an unbreakable spirit can overcome it all. That is your power. That is your purpose. That is the essence of the attitude that never quits.